know you don't drink coffee. That's classic. I'm so excited that here we have a very special guest speaker. Oh, no, I shouldn't say guest speaker, guest fabulous person joining us, Juanita Hart. And she's zooming in from Rockhampton today. Is that right, Juanita?
Yes, I sure am.
I'm so excited.
Juanita's actually from Ballina in northern New South Wales. And she's been living her best laptop lifestyle while she was away at a retreat, and then just went, oh, I'm just going to head around Queensland, up north for a little while and live my best life. So awesome that you could come and join us today. And Juanita is from Krypto, Kastle. And today we're going to be chatting with her about the topic of top tips for getting into crypto and NFT. But I think where we've got to start is even what's it all about. But first of all, welcome and thanks for joining us, Juanita.
No, lovely for you ladies to have me. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about and has given me financial freedom and time freedom, which every woman is after, I think.
Totally. So I have been stalkerizing Juanita for quite some time and watching her journey, and it's just extraordinary. Now, in the very beginning, I totally understood what her posts were about and her stories and all of that. And then as time went on and she really went into this deep space of it all, and then I got really lost. So Jenni and I
and that is really easy to do in the crypto space.
Jenni and I have talked about this topic on and off, and I know there's people out there going, why haven't you talked about this in a bite size on a Friday morning? So we thought, well, perfect time to invite you on. Jenni, before we ask Juanita some tips, where's your knowledge at?
Very like zero, essentially. I'm the one who's going to go buy the Cryptocurrency for Dummies book. I remember actually when I first got introduced to it, I'm thinking, goodness, I'm well behind the train. When I was in Barcelona for the very first Mind Valley University, they were talking about cryptocurrency and crypto there. And then post that, the following year, we went to Tallinn and they ran a number of workshops there about, a whole range of, I don't think they called it crypto in that way. It was, whether it was Bitcoin or whatever it was called at that time, and talking about the new economy that was coming, and particularly in the space of, as an Aboriginal woman and in working Indigenous businesses, there's a real interest in the space around providing digital assets around for Indigenous artwork and how to identify Indigenous artwork using the kind of technology. So I've kind of been playing on the edges of that conversation and creating digital identity. So yeah, this is really exciting for me today.
Yay. So what should our first question be? I think maybe we could ask, what is it?
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, Juanita, what is it?
Lots of people ask that question. They're always like, I don't understand what it is and I cannot fathom what an NFT is. So basically, cryptocurrency is a digital currency. So it's not your paper money, it's a digital currency and it's on the blockchain. Now, the blockchain is basically a digital ledger that can never be altered. So just like how you go to the bank with your money and they keep a record of everything, the same with cryptocurrency. The only thing, the blockchain can never be altered. So no one can ever go in and fudge the numbers or change transactions. You can never get a transaction refunded. It's basically once it's printed on the blockchain, that's it. Wow. So an NFT is a non-fungible token and it's on the blockchain as well. But with an NFT, it's a digital piece of art or music or whatever you'd like it to be, but it's a asset you can see, if that makes sense. So when you buy cryptocurrency, you've just got a token and a number in your wallet. But when you buy an NFT, you have a nice little picture with some music attached or something that you can actually see. And that's what.
So we've got one thing is digital, the other thing is tangible. Is that right?
Well, they're both digital. The only thing is an NFT you can see, whereas your cryptocurrency token is just a number.
So the NFT is when I was talking about sort of digital artwork, because that was one of pieces in terms of Aboriginal art or Indigenous art, saying creating a digital version of that you can buy and sell. So there's lots of issues around ownership of that art. So it's essentially providing ownership of a piece of art in the digital space.
It is, and I'm massive on NFTs. I love NFTs. I do a free NFT call every Saturday about NFTs in the metaverse. So many artists and creative people, and even singers now, are getting into this because they don't need a middleman to sell their product. If they want to get their music out there, their artwork out there, any creative pieces, even screenwriters, playwriters, books, that they are all starting to put their stuff on the blockchain. Now, there is a fine line with ownership. I know, like, there's been lots and lots of talks with copyright and how you prove ownership. It's basically building your brand and getting your brand verified on NFT marketplaces, which, like, OpenSea is the biggest one. So there's lots of big artists that have joined that platform. Even Snoop Dogg, the rapper, he has a massive platform on Crypto.com and has released a whole lot of NFTs. And so a lot of musicians will add music overlay of their artwork as well, and it makes that piece original. And the other great thing about it is artists can release what they want. So they can release one piece per release, or they can paint one artwork and release 10,000 copies of that as NFTs. So every person can own their own little digital piece of that artwork. Now,
Wow.
People ask me all the time, how do these artists make money? Well, you're purchasing the artwork as an NFT, so as a digital form, as a digital asset for whatever they ask. So they could be selling them for $10, they could be selling them for $1,000. And then if you resell that piece of art to someone else, if you owned it for 6 months and then thought, I don't like this piece of art anymore, I've got this nice new piece of art, and you on-sell it, the artist actually makes a commission of that on-selling. And they will continue to keep making a percentage of the on-sale of this NFT. So you can see why so many artists are appealed to this sort of sale of their artworks instead of paying a commission to hang one piece of art on a wall in an art gallery and hope one piece sells.
Yeah, absolutely. My goodness. I was just thinking of a guy I was speaking to the other day who hasn't made any money from his music, but it's just like a passion project, and he doesn't want to die having not put his music out there. I'm like, oh, he needs to talk to you. So do you do coaching, or how do you share?
So Crypto Kastle, it's both with the K, Crypto Kastle. It does have a Facebook page, and we just run a free weekly Saturday call, and people message me or during the week. You're welcome to add me on Facebook as well. I answer messages or during the week and questions. So on my free call on the Saturdays is when I focus on the community's questions, and there is never a dumb question ever. And we're all at different levels of NFTing and crypto as well. So there's never any silly questions. And then the metaverse is a whole other aspect. Lots of people are like, what is the metaverse? So, it's a digital world, and it is getting bigger and bigger, and so many big brands are starting to join it. And the metaverse utilizes NFTs within it. So it's all run on cryptocurrency. So you do need to be able to use crypto to get into NFTs in the metaverse space. It's very fun, but it's totally a digital world. And
that was going to be my question. Sorry, Juanita, that was my question. So how do you get into crypto? How do you buy crypto? How does that process work?
So that's a little bit separate to what I just spoke about. The NFTs and metaverse is one aspect of it. And then also I do crypto trading. So I buy and sell crypto constantly. So I've actually been doing it for 2 years full time now. I did it part-time as a hobby. As I was working my job, I was self-teaching and stuff. So I'm actually with an Australian community It's called MTC, and we are a closed, tight-knit community. You do pay a monthly fee to be in it, but we are free from scammers, spammers, bad information, and stuff like that. And so we have educators all week. Everyone's at different levels of trading and buying crypto, but it does help total beginners as well. So one big thing I always say to people is be careful out there. There is so many scams and spams, because a lot of people always say to me, I've been scammed before, or this has happened, or my friend got scammed. And then I'm like, basically no one on the internet is going to message you and say, hey, would you like some free crypto, or give me some money and I'm going to 100 times it. So as with every aspect online, you do have to be careful, and random people aren't going to message you telling you they're going to make you heaps of money. So never give money to anyone online that you don't know that's claiming to teach you stuff, or give your money over so they can make it and give it back to you. Like they're all scams. So basically, the one thing I do teach is always keep control of your own money and your own wallets. On my calls, I do teach people how to set up a MetaMask wallet and how to start doing the simple basic things. But yeah, it always comes down to personally being careful out there and not just trusting anyone who messages you. And, you know, you just have to learn the basics and then stick with them as well. So I'm in a few little communities in the crypto world now, and it has taken me time to find that as well. So I do feel like my information is valuable because I have been out there for a few years and I've seen lots of scams and spams. So that's what I can warn people about a lot. Even with NFTs, there's little scams and spams as well. But with anything in life, and especially online, we know that that is everywhere. But to get into crypto, basically, the one big thing I say to people is to be educated. And so a lot of people want to learn about it, but don't want to necessarily put in the effort to learn it. And I can honestly say there's a great women community we have of crypto people, and a lot of us are busy mums, and a lot of us only have a few hours a week and still put that in to keep learning. And then over the years, you learn more and more and more. The one thing I can say about crypto is it is coming in hard and fast in all aspects around us in the world. More and more people are utilizing crypto in their businesses. More and more people are utilizing NFTs. And as I'm in the metaverse a lot every week, I see how many huge brands, like massive brands, are utilizing NFTs and starting to use them as memberships and discount cards in their businesses, and the branding I'm seeing in the metaverse. And I'm like, wow, if all these big brands are starting to get in here now, it's definitely only going to be like 5 or 10 years before it's totally mainstream and it's everywhere. Just like how our iPhones and internet started. And everyone was like, oh, I don't understand it. So I really do feel like it is something we are all going to have to learn eventually. I'm just happy to be on the forefront of it and learning it now. And I've actually seen so many great stories of how it's given people financial freedom as well, and how many artists and musicians I've seen give financial freedom and creative freedom with their own works.
It sounds like that's what happened to you, because you mentioned that you were working in your other job, or, you know, full-time job,
yeah.
Or whatever. Now you're doing this full time. So was that something that you always intended, that it was going to be how you would support yourself and your family?
Well, funny story with that. I think COVID happening and a lot of people losing their jobs and a lot of people going, where am I going to get money from? Most of the people I've met in the crypto and metaverse world, especially in the metaverse, have been like, well, I'm an architect and I lost my job. I couldn't leave my house. So I got into the metaverse and NFTs, and now I build metaverse worlds. And it's funny how many architects I've met. And then I've met all these people that did other jobs, and they're like, well, I lost my job and the world stopped. So I sat on my computer and delved into this. And I can honestly say when when COVID did happen, that's when I spent more time than ever on my computer because we were all locked up at home. And then I was just learning more and more and more and connecting with more people. And then I was like, look, I'm making good money. Like, I should really think about doing this full time. And as you know, too, my mother got sick and I had to go care for her. And my life just got turned upside down. And then we had all the flooding in the Northern Rivers. So it was a crazy sort of year. And I was just like, wow, I can work from anywhere on my laptop, have this freedom, and I've still got money coming in. I just have to keep educating myself. That's all I have to do, is keep educating myself in this area. And I was really blessed to meet my business partner, Rowan, of Crypto Castles. And once our two brains got together in the metaverse and NFT world, we were just like, yes, and so that's where I can say really catapulted me forward, was meeting more crypto people and being in that lovely tight-knit community, and also meeting other women that had similar stories to me, and were like, I lost my job, or my job cut back all my hours, and I was like, how am I going to get extra money? And so we got into crypto trading, and I flip NFTs, so that means buy and sell NFTs daily. I'm looking at all the NFT markets, what's hot, what's not. There's also things as free mints, and some free mints you can mint them and own the NFT, and then in a few days it will be worth a little bit of a small fortune. That's happened to me a few times, but I'm constantly watching the markets, and I'm constantly watching the crypto markets every day as well, and will buy and sell accordingly. I don't always win. People do ask me that. They're like, so do you just make money all the time? No, I don't. Sometimes my trades do not work out, and that is a lesson for me to go back and have a look at why. And that's what I have in my trade plan as well. So there's all these different things that you are looking at every day. And of course, women do make better traders than men as well, because we are less likely to take risks, and we're less likely to gamble. And also, women love to make money, and we always want that new handbag or something new for the house or the kids. So we are actually a lot better than men with trading the crypto game, which is fabulous, I reckon. So there is a lot more women joining this very heavily male, male saturation world. But at the crypto traders event I was just at Cairns, it was lovely to see this great women community up there, all like starting to kick their goals and making extra money for their family and their lives.
So when you're looking at, so you're talking about trading, so essentially, like, just for really kind of very base, no jargon, essentially when you're trading crypto, it's kind of like trading the stock market, except it's just it's a digital version of a share, essentially, is what we're talking about, isn't it? So in the same way, there's not just one Bitcoin and there's lots of different
there's
coins, if you like, or versions.
Yep, there's thousands of coins. And in the organization I am with, we also go into trading stocks and shares as well. It's very similar. Once you know how to read a chart and whether people are buying or selling, and what all the little triangles mean going up and down, you can easily read a lot of financial charts. And that's what I'm finding with my brain now. I've done the groundwork, and I'm starting to see charts now and seeing the patterns in them, and seeing whether people are buying and selling, whether I should buy or sell at the moment, and stuff like that. So it does. And there is charts with NFTs as well. You can see, like, if, it's going up, going down and stuff like that. So yeah, once you start learning it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. And then you find it easier as you go along to buy and sell, and just skim off that little bit of profit each day. And sometimes your profit margins aren't huge. Sometimes you're just like, well, that was 1%, that was 5%, that was 7%. But continually doing that daily, and then letting that compound, that's where you start seeing the money.
So let's be honest then, Juanita, how much time would you spend? Because I've heard a lot of, I'm watching it daily, I'm doing this daily, How much of your time do you reckon it takes up? every day? And, you know, aware that you're doing this full time.
Yeah, well, every day I wake up, my morning routine is to wake up, do my morning exercise, and then I will spend a few hours. So I always get up. I want to see what NFTs I sold overnight, what I made overnight while I was asleep.
I love that line. What I made overnight while I was asleep.
Yeah. So I'm constantly buying and selling NFTs. I have so many NFT marketplaces and so many different accounts. So they all come to the one email, and then I check my trades as well. And then once I check what I've made money on, then I want to place some more trades, or I want to mint some more NFTs or put more up for sale. So I will spend a couple of hours. And now this wholly depends on how motivated I am in that day, or how excited I am to make more money. Also depends on what else I've got going on in my life that day. So I will spend normally the whole morning, so from 8 a.m. to about 12. And then my afternoons, I go and do whatever I want. In the NFT world, because a lot of it does happen in the middle of the night because of the American time difference here. A lot of the time the first year I was kind of awake from that midnight to 5 a.m. period, doing a lot of NFT stuff. So I'd be asleep before and then asleep after. So if I am on a heavy minting spree, or I'm doing some play to earn gaming, or in the metaverse, I might be up for half the night. So then I'll be sleeping in the afternoon. But at the moment, I have been sleeping all night, and I've just been putting on my trades and my NFT stuff in the mornings. So even while I was away on my holiday, I was checking a few hours a day, and that was all. Some days I didn't check at all. But now I'm back. I will be spending some whole days. But yeah, I wouldn't be spending any more than a normal 9 to 5 work day, that's for sure. And like I said, because I can work from anywhere, anytime, I can slot it into my own lifestyle. And that's what most women really love about the crypto world.
Wow.
So how do you know what coin to buy? Like, that's, I guess, because when you're looking at it, and I had a look at, there's cryptocurrency, essentially, I feel like I'm looking at a stock market sheet, and you've got Bitcoin at $23,000, and then you've got some random little one that's selling for 0.0000001 point, nothing, but in the value. So how do you know what to play in?
Well, it always comes down to this, like you've got to check out your fundamentals, like what does this cryptocurrency offer? What are the fundamentals behind it? Who's invested in it? So CoinGecko is a great site. It's just called CoinGecko. It's a free site to use. You can download the app on your phone. This shows you all the different coins out there. You can look up any coin as well, see what exchanges it's on, how to buy it, what its price is. You can see its charting. So for me, it depends what you want to invest in. Me myself personally, I have invested in a lot of AI technology and metaverse stuff because that's what I'm personally into. I have some crypto friends that still tell me metaverse and NFT stuff's not going to take off. I think otherwise. So it does personally come down to your preferences. It's like with anything you invest in, you're looking at the fundamentals behind this. And also you're never investing what you're not prepared to lose.
Yeah.
So I have my fingers in many pies because I'd rather have that than all my money in Bitcoin, whereas some people prefer to have all their money in Bitcoin. I have my money kind of spread out. So there is thousands and thousands of coins, and there's also lots of coins that promise big things and then never go anywhere.
When you say never invest anything that you're not prepared to lose, then would you say in effect it's kind of gambling?
Well, it's not gambling in the sense, it's more investing. I would say gambling more in the crypto world is not being educated and just putting your money into it going, oh, I bought Bitcoin, why hasn't it doubled? Where's my Lambo? Because there's lots of people that do that as well. And even with NFTs, like buying them and then just hoping for the best. That's kind of the gambling mindset, because that's what we do if you put money into a poking machine. You're just hoping and wishing for the best and hoping it doubles your money. But when you're weighing up your risks and, because we do have risk, we do follow risk management in our trading as well. So when I'm doing things, I'll only be risking 10% of my portfolio. I won't be putting all my money into one basket. And if I lose that, well, then I'm stuffed, if I'm investing 10% and that asset doesn't do well, then I haven't lost heaps. So there is a big difference between investing and gambling. So with investing, it's always great to, weigh up your options. If I'm going to put $100 into something, I'm like, if I lose that $100, I'm still going to be able to have my roof over my head, have my family, have my cars, things like that. I wouldn't invest everything I own into one thing. I just wouldn't do that. That's not good risk management. When I do
clarified that, I think that's great, but I think the key there is don't ever put something in that you're not prepared to lose. I think that's a really good one. But also that comparison with the pokies and you not being educated, that's such an important piece there. But what's fascinated me, Juanita, is that you talked about it being a bit of a hobby, then of course lockdown, so you got really into it, and now here you are full-time. That's an extraordinarily quick soaring to it's your full-time income. That's an amazing success.
It definitely was. And at first, I invested in a few things and made some really good money in the first year. And I bought my car. I did a lot of home repairs. I did some travel, and I was like, I saw it as an extra bonus. I was like, wow, I did all right, but I wasn't highly educated in it. I was doing a lot of YouTube videos, watching people in a lot of crypto groups, but with that too, you got to kind of fish through like what is good information, what isn't good information. And I have had some losses, but I've had more wins. But with every loss as well, that's when I go back and go, why did you lose that? Well, you didn't research it properly. You kind of did that emotionally on hopes and gains instead of looking at your fundamentals and using your own risk management and stuff. So the first year I did well, but when that all happened, I went, I can do this. I can do this, and so it was just putting in the effort every day and going, wow, I am making this happen. And then once I started meeting other people in the community and making more crypto friends, it did make my life easier. But I still think now and go, wow, how blessed I am that I just changed my whole life from going to work nonstop, 45 hours a week, to working whenever I want at home and still being able to generate money. And some weeks I make more money. Well, a lot of weeks I have made more money than going to work all week. Sometimes I've done it in one single NFT flip or trade. And I've just gone, wow, okay, I need to get more educated in this space.
I think that's the key that I've heard you say a number of times. And that is I want everyone to take away from this, is that you keep saying, I need to educate myself more in this. And I think that's such an important piece, because so many people start a business like you where it's been a bit of a hobby and they've enjoyed it. Jenni and I talk about this a lot. And Jenni, what's your term for it? Like an accidental business
owner, yeah.
And finding yourself going, oh, now I'm running it as a business. Where to from here, etc. And I love that you keep saying, educate yourself. You never stop learning, because we've got to keep upskilling, don't we? We've got to keep current and fresh, and otherwise we just become a bit stale.
And definitely how, compared to how we grew up with no mobile phones, no smart TVs, no sat navs, all these things. And now it's just the digital space is just moving so fast. And especially because I keep up with all the metaverse news and the developments in that. The AI technology is already here. It's already rolled out underneath everything. Crypto plays a huge part in AI technology and the metaverse, because everybody in it is using digital assets. They don't want to use cash. They don't want to use government money. I think cryptocurrencies to a lot of people spell freedom, because it's like, you know, I'm doing my own thing. And like I said, with the NFT world, it gives so many creative people that freedom that they're like, I don't need a PR manager. I don't need an art gallery. I don't need this. I don't need a publisher, you know. And so many people are like, oh, I can just go out on my own now and create my own business. But yeah, it's very funny that you say that this is an accidental business, because it was. And I've owned many businesses in my life, as you know, Kylie. But yeah, it was definitely a total accidental business. And it's funny because I think this is the funnest job I've ever had. And there's always something new happening. And whenever I get online with everyone, it's like, oh, did you see this today? Did you see this happen? Did you see this brand paired with them, or this asset's doing this? And so there's always something exciting and new. And yeah, I'm actually excited to be on the forefront of this sort of technology as it does roll out as well.
Juanita, I'm so pumped for you, but I feel like we can't get off this call without this really important thing being addressed, which is, what about fraud? I know you've mentioned scams, you know, to be careful, et cetera, but it's all out there in the digital world. We know that hacks can happen anytime. We've seen some horrors over the last year here in Australia of really big companies that you would expect would be all over that kind of thing. Jenni, have you got any thoughts around that? Has that been ringing little alarm bells at all for you, making you think,
well, we have a big good saying in crypto: not your keys, not your crypto. So what that basically means is when you have a digital wallet, you have a seed phrase, and a seed phrase is a 12 to 24 letter word. And that word combo is the only thing that will ever be able to access your wallet. And we always tell people, never give it to anyone, not your children, not your husband, no one. No one
like
is
password on LastPass or 1Password or something.
No, see, that's the great thing about a Web3 wallet. So Web3, we're in Web 2 at the moment, where we're using emails and passwords and LastPass and password savers and that. Once you get into the Web 3, which we're going into now, your wallet has a number. It doesn't have a name. It just has a number. No one knows that Juanita Hart owns this wallet, because I'm just a number. And to access that wallet, I have my seed phrase, and only I have it. And
what
so
if you lose it?
Well, this is what we have taught in our Crypto Castle calls as well. You'll never lose it, because there's some people engrave them in metal and hide it somewhere, keep it in a safe. Some people keep it written down in multiple places. Now, for me, as you know, like our whole area flooded. So, you know, some people said to me, oh, well, your seed phrase is safe. And I was like, well, I have them kept in a snaplock bag anyway, if you are writing them down. And then I have a spare copy kept at my mother's house as well. So I do have spare copies. The other thing is, people are like, what happens if you die? Well, safety tips with that is I have half in a safe, and the other half is with my solicitor that has my will.
Wow.
So there's things like this. But I constantly have students every week that are like, oh, someone messaged me on Telegram and said they were from support, and I gave them my seed phrase because they said they were going to help me. And I'm just like, well, sorry, you got scammed. And we keep telling you the one thing you have to do in crypto is just keep your seed phrase safe.
So the thing I'm listening to you, Juanita, sorry to interrupt you again, is that this is a whole other language. Yeah. And I think that and this is what's been for the last, you know, and I'm like leaning in, fascinated by the conversation. But this, I think what my takeaway here is similar to Kylie's, is you can't go in here and be like, I've gone on CoinGecko, I'm going to try, I know how to trade shares, so I'm going to start doing this and throw some money at someone. I'm still even unsure how you get the money into the crypto piece in the first place, and that's probably a whole other conversation. That might be a Saturday morning call with you to work that out. But once you're in there, it's like it's now kind of having a whole dictionary of because I'm pretty sure in the last 5 minutes you've said like 3 English words and everything else is stuff I don't know. And I didn't realize, like,
that's
I'm
what
like,
my friends
holy
say.
crap, I didn't realize how ignorant I was in this space.
And I'm trying to make it easy for you as well.
So I'm just like, I totally get that, but this is like, my takeaway is if I'm like, okay, if I've got a couple of grand put aside somewhere as a safety net, and I want to kind of like trade in the same way, if I go put some money aside and let's start trading in shares, if you've got some cash, join a group, talk to you, get some learning, get some education first.
Yeah.
Find some coin that you might want to play with, and then just kind of start and then work through. Because I'm guessing very few people are going to want to drop $24,000 on a Bitcoin and go make me money in the first time. It's how do we get to the Bitcoin? Like that's what I'm feeling like. It's like any share. Like you don't go straight to buy. You're not going to buy 5 Apple shares. You're going to buy some smaller ones first and then build into the big shares, right?
Yeah. And the other great thing is, like I said before, is it's like you can add me on Facebook at any time, and MTC, the company I'm with that does trading, they actually do offer like a little 5-day free course for people to get a taster as well. And the other great thing, like I said before, is we have risk management because we all write our own trade plan. So when I am investing or doing these trades, as you said, if you put in a couple of $1,000s, I'm not risking my whole portfolio. So I'm not risking the whole couple of $1,000s. I might just be risking 10% of my portfolio on this trade.
Yeah.
And so therefore you're only risking a little bit. And this is your risk management. But you're doing that constantly and making your 10% or your 5%. So I always tell people to do the little free course first, because some people just don't like it. It's like with anything. If you say, go learn the guitar, you might do a few lessons and go, it's not for me. So, it's always good to do something like that. And it's always good to talk to someone like me who is living the crypto lifestyle. You don't want to be taking advice off people that are like, I only trade on, 1 day a week, or I have done it and then I haven't, or my mate said this, or my uncle said this. They're the worst sorts of people, I think. Or like I heard off a friend, this coin's good or that coin's good. You really want to be talking to people who are in it full time. And I must say, I've made a good little community now and a great little network of people who are. And so even with me, some days I'm like, oh, I've researched this and this doesn't seem right and that. And I'll be reaching out to people and asking before I'm thinking about it. And like I said, in our community too, we do have a few calls every week, and that's when we can all ask questions as well. And we have lead educators leading us with stuff as well. So it's a constant learning curve as well. And I must say, when I first started in crypto, I didn't understand all the jargon as well. You can actually Google crypto jargon now, and it will tell you what all the little words mean. Some people print them out and put them next to their keyboard at first, so they can start to learn this. But when people say how easy is it to buy cryptocurrency, well, you'll see in some shopping centers now, there are like little machines that are like, buy Bitcoin here. And people are like, what? And it's like, it's as simple as inserting or tapping your savings card and buying some Bitcoin. So it is getting easier and easier to get into the crypto world. But as you said before, you don't want to be buying Bitcoin and then watching it go down because you've bought
I think our takeaway for today, and I know we've gone a bit over time today, but I think we're just like a little bit kind of overwhelmed and absorbed into the conversation. But if you're interested, I think the takeaways for me today, Juanita, and thank you so much for sharing such an incredible amount of knowledge, is do some research, get yourself educated, do some little courses. Don't just throw money at the wall and hope it's going to stick. Play around, do some education, be comfortable what you're going to actually invest to start with. Find a group of people who are going to help you do that, and start small and build into it. and don't, as you said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I think there's lots of little takeaways, but I guess from my perspective, if you want to get into this, and for those who are, tuning into this episode today, it's about like taking baby steps, isn't it really? It's like, get yourself educated, learn, find some people, connect with Juanita, listen to the, ask the questions on a Saturday morning on her Facebook page. We put the links in the group. And I think it's just about, start dipping your toe, because we know it's coming. We know we need to get to that point, and it's about saying start now, so that when the world does start to change significantly, we're going to be a bit more prepared to do that.
Yeah,
like any good business.
Definitely. Like digital currency is coming, whether
it's coming. Yeah.
So many people are like, oh no, and it's like the ANZ's already working on their own stable coin. Governments around the world are working on their own cryptocurrencies. So it is coming. And as we know, everything's going digital now.
Well, I'm fascinated. I'm overwhelmed and fascinated for a Friday morning, which is two wonderful things to be at the end of the week. Juanita Hart from Crypto Kastle, thank you so much for making us a little bit less of a nufty than we were when we started. We kind of have maybe half of 1% better understanding, but I think it's opened our eyes to the fact that we might want to actually start improving that. So for those listening on our podcast or watching us on YouTube or seeing us on Facebook, connect with Juanita Hart, connect with Crypto Kastle, and start to learn this process, because we know it's coming. And for those, I think our next chat, we're tuning in next week. Kylie's going to be in San Diego for Social Media Marketing World. I'll have a special guest, just confirming who that might be, but I'm very excited next week as well. So we love some special guests on our bite-sized podcast. But for those tuning in, make sure you subscribe and follow us so you don't miss any future episodes, so you don't miss the replays and the information. Thank you again, Juanita. Thank you, Kylie. Always awesome. Safe travels to San Diego and Social Media Marketing World. We'll be hearing all about that at the end of March when you're back. But have an amazing Friday. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks so much, Juanita.
Thanks so much, Juanita.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.